Thank God that there are solid folk who water flowers and roll the lawn, and sit and sew and talk and smoke and snore all through the summer dawn, who pass untroubled nights and days, full fed and sleepily content, rejoicing in each other's praise, respectable and innocent, who feel the things that all men feel, and think in well-worn grooves of thought, whose honest spirits never reel before man's mystery overwrought, yet not unfaithful nor unkind, with work-day virtues surely stayed. Theirs is the sane and humble mind, and dull affections undismayed. O happy people! I have seen no verse yet written in your praise, and truth to tell, the time has been that I would have scorned your easy ways. But now, through weariness and strife, I learn your worthiness indeed. The world is better for such life as stout suburban people lead. Too often have I sat alone, when the wet night falls heavily, and fretting winds around me moan, and homeless longing vexes me. For lore that I shall never know, and visions none can hope to see, till brooding works upon me so, a childish fear steals over me. I look around the empty room, the clock still ticking in its place, and all else silent as the tomb, till suddenly I think a face grows from the darkness just beside. I turn, and lo, it fades away, and soon another phantom tide of shifting dreams begins to play, and dusky galleys past me sail, full freighted on a fairy sea. I hear the silken merchants hail across the ringing waves to me. Then, suddenly, again the room, familiar books about me piled, and I alone amid the gloom, by one more mocking dream beguiled. And still no nearer to the light, and still no further from myself, alone and lost in clinging night, the clock still ticking on the shelf. Then do I envy solid folk, who sit of evenings by the fire, after their work, and doze and smoke, and are not fretted by desire. Hello and welcome to this Oak Tree English poetry reading. This time dedicated to one of my heroes, C.S. Lewis. We've just heard In Praise of Solid People. Clive Staples Lewis was born to solicitor Alfred Lewis and Florence née Hamilton in Belfast on the 29th of November 1898, the date of this video's release. He referred to the two sides of his character as Lewis and Hamilton. I suspect he would have been very happy about the racing driver. Early in his life he suffered two important losses. Firstly, his dog, Jaxie, at the age of 4, after which he named himself Jaxie and was known ever since as Jack to his friends. And secondly, crucially and everlastingly, his mother, Flora, at the age of 10. He never fully recovered from this, and alludes to it in a thinly veiled reference in The Magician's Nephew. He was sent away to be educated in England, and it was while studying at a prep school in Malvern that he lost his Christian faith. He later looked back at his ideas of this period and wrote this Evolutionary Hymn, sung to the tune Guide Us, Heavenly Father, Guide Us. But the words are different. I will read it rather than sing it because no one needs to hear me sing. Lead us, evolution, lead us, up the future's endless stair. Chop us, change us, prod us, weed us, for stagnation is despair. Groping, guessing, yet progressing, lead us, nobody knows where. Wrong or justice, joy or sorrow, in the present, what are they? While there's always jam tomorrow, while we tread the onward way. Never knowing where we're going, we can never go astray. To whatever variation our posterity may turn, hairy, squashy, or crustacean, bulbous-eyed or square of stern, toothed or toothless, mild or ruthless, towards that unknown God we yearn. Ask not if it's God or devil, brethren, lest your words imply static norms of good and evil, as in Plato, throned on high. Such scholastic, inelastic, abstract yardsticks we deny. Far too long have sages vainly glossed great nature's simple text. He who runs can read it plainly. Goodness equals what comes next. By evolving, life is solving all the questions we perplexed. On then, value means survival. Value, if our progeny spreads and spawns and licks each rival, that will prove its deity. Far from pleasant by our present standards, though it may well be. After being tutored by a man he affectionately called the Old Knock, he went up to Oxford, earning a rare double first, going on to lecture philosophy and then later English literature. He was a fellow of Magdalen College, which owns a lot of land, including the village of Lower Quinton in Warwickshire, and a large deer park attached to the college. On an early Sunday morning, September the 20th, 1931, 32-year-old C.S. Lewis, 39-year-old J.R.R. Tolkien, yes, that one, and 35-year-old Hugo Dyson took a walk together on Addison's Walk in the grounds of Magdalen College. Their time together had begun the night before at dinner, but their conversation continued late into the night. After Tolkien left about 3 a.m, Lewis and Dyson continued talking until they retired at 4 a.m. It was this conversation which had the dramatic impact on Lewis's faith and resulted in his conversion back to Christianity. This poem is still on a plaque in Addison's Walk in recognition of that momentous dialogue. I heard in Addison's Walk a bird sing clear, "This year the summer will come true, this year, this year. Winds will not strip the blossoms from the apple trees this year, nor want of rain destroy the peas. This year time's nature will no more defeat you, nor all the promised moments in their passing cheat you. This time they will not lead you round and back to autumn 1 year older by the well-worn track. This year, as all these flowers foretell, we shall escape the circle and undo the spell. Often deceived, yet open once again your heart. Quick, 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 the gates are drawn apart." Lewis became one of Christianity's foremost defenders and is said to be the most quoted Christian of the 20th century. Today, he's probably best known for his children's books, The Chronicles of Narnia. These contain little snippets of poetry such as "Wrong will be right when Aslan comes in sight. At the sound of his roar, sorrows will be no more. When he bares his teeth, winter meets its death. And when he shakes his mane, we shall have spring again." From the line The Witch in the Wardrobe. "Where sky and waters meet, where the waves grow sweet, doubt not, reapy cheap, to find all you seek. There is the utter east." From The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Or, "Though under earth and throneless now I be, yet while I lived all earth was under me." From The Silver Chair. "Make your choice, adventurous stranger. Strike the bell and bide the danger. Or wonder, till it drives you mad, what would have followed if you had." From The Magician's Nephew. Also from The Magician's Nephew. "Come in by the gold gates, or not at all. Take of my fruit for others, or forbear. For those who steal, or those who climb my wall, shall find their heart's desire, and find despair." But Lewis also wrote some Narnian poetry not recorded in the Chronicles. This is called the Narnian Suite. And here is part 1. This is difficult to read, so please forgive me if I stumble. March for strings, kettle drums, and 63 dwarves. With plucking pizzicato and the prattle of the kettle drum, we're trotting into battle mid a clatter of accoutrement. Our beards are as big as periwigs and trickle with opoponax, and trinketry and treasure twinkle out on every part of us. Scrape, tap, the fiddle and the kettle drum. The chuckle-headed humans think we're only peppered puppetry, and all our battle tackle nothing more than pretty bric-a-brac. But a little shrub has prickles, and they'll soon be in a pickle if a scud of dwarfish archery has crippled all their cavalry. Whiz, twang, the quarrel and the javelin. And when the tussle thickens, we can writhe and wriggle under it. Then dagger point'll tickle 'em, and grab and grapple 'em. Then trapple, trickle, trouble 'em, and tackle 'em, and topple 'em, till they're huddled and all bediddled in the middle of our caperings. Dodge, jump, the wriggle and the somersault. When we've scattered 'em and peppered 'em with pebbles from our catapults, we'll turn again in triumph, and by crannies and by crevices go back to where the capital and cradle of our people is, our forges and our furnaces, the caverns of the earth. Gold, fire, the anvil and the smithying. Lewis died at his Headington home, the Kilns, on the 22nd of November 1963, the same day that the American president, Kennedy, was shot. So he didn't get the media attention he deserved. He's buried at his parish church, Holy Trinity, Headington, which today has a Narnia window in recognition of his contribution to the Christian discourse. His much-beloved alcoholic brother Warnie, through the grief and intoxication, chose the script for his gravestone. Men must endure their going hence, which is a quote from King Lear, and was on the old calendar, which stopped turning upon their mother's death. He might have preferred our final poem for now, the Apologist's Evening Prayer. From all my lame defeats, and oh, much more, from all the victories that I seemed to score, from cleverness shot forth on thy behalf, at which, while angels weep, the audience laugh, from all my proofs of thy divinity, thou, who wouldst give no sign, deliver me. Thoughts are but coins, let me not trust instead of thee their thin worn image of thy head. From all my thoughts, even from my thoughts of thee, O thou, fair silence, fall and set me free. Lord of the narrow gate and the needle's eye, take from me all my trumpery, lest I die. Thank you for joining me on this brief trip through the life and poetry of C.S. Lewis. For a more academic treatment of his work, I recommend searching YouTube for Narnian Apologetics to watch The Way of the Lion course, or search Amazon to read it on Kindle. Until next time, may we all stay between the paws of the true Aslan. Goodbye.